I'm sorry that I have not yet gotten a haircut at the time of the making of this video, but it needed to be done. We have to talk about what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. First of all, new episode of Cheap Heat out today. So go find that Ringer Wrestling show and listen to Cheap Heat, where we really spend our time breaking down the weekend, what happened with Punk, and everything else that happened last night on Raw. It was a big episode of Raw when you think about it. For the record, just a few other things that we need to at least note. Um, the tag team turmoil was a lot of fun. The Creed brothers are to be taken seriously. Um, a Drew McIntyre turn that I've been waiting for forever. I think this is fantastic news for Drew. Loved the moment with him headbutting Seth Rollins. There were several things that happened throughout the show. The Shinsuke Nakamura miss to Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton's return and his segment calling out the Judgment Day. So there was a lot of stuff that happened last night on Raw, period. But obviously, what we need to break down is CM Punk's return promo. And I want to get this out of the way. This is an important message that I feel very strongly about. I don't like talking out of both sides of my mouth, but I feel like in the case of CM Punk, I often do that. I was like over the moon about CM Punk coming back to wrestling when he did a few years ago. And I even said some incredibly hyperbolic things about Punk and like just how great I thought his great moments were. I believe I got roasted once by saying that CM Punk at his prime, it was as over as The Rock ever was. Something like that. Like it was a pretty over the top. Oh, here it is. Here's the tweet. I think this is the one. I wrote Punk was not as good as The Rock, Cena as a debate, but at his highest level, he was more over than both. However, The Rock and Cena have grown the business because of their life outside wrestling. Punk is a wrestling star no more, which is fine by me, by the way. A lot of people did not appreciate this take of how over I believed CM Punk was in his prime, but he was. I mean, if you go back to 2011, here's the thing that's always made CM Punk special, and last night is different. And by the way, I don't know if you guys can see the shirt in today's honor is the original "Let the War Games Begin" shirt. Um, what made CM Punk so incredible and such a surefire Hall of Famer in his heyday is the quality and trait that he brought last night to Raw. He can make an era feel like a different era altogether. All of a sudden, you feel like you are in the Attitude Era. Last night felt like, oh my God, what is going to happen? Yes, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, thank you very much. A real surprise, a true and real surprise that wrestling fans have been begging for, or at least fans like me, for so long. No advertisement, no leakage, just a straight up surprise. That's number one. And number two is there's something about CM Punk's ability on the microphone and the characteristic, the what will he do, what won't he do, that gives you vibes of Attitude Era. Then you mix in last night the fact that you have all these other exciting things going on simultaneously. And how do you not feel like you're in the Attitude Era? All of a sudden, it feels like we are living in the Attitude Era again because you got Randy Orton starting the show. You got Cody Rhodes and something with Shinsuke Nakamura. You got the tag team turmoil over here. You got Rhea Ripley and just becoming a bigger star and better every single day. There's so many things going on. It reminds you of an episode of Raw from 1999 where just like every segment is like, wow. Even the throwaway matches are not throwaway matches. So there were a lot of things that were factors in that, but you can't remove the Punk part of it. So I'm saying all of that up front to say I am an appreciator of CM Punk and what he is capable of. On top of that, he's been nothing but a good dude to me in my many interactions with him over the years. He was nothing but cool. Never had, I don't that I recall, never had a moment or issue with CM Punk in any way. Well, he was coup de la with me. Um, Now, as the last few years have unfolded, there have been moments where I didn't think he draped himself in positivity, um, or glory. Maybe that's the phrase I'm looking for. Draping yourself in glory. Yeah, there were moments that happened. I spoke about this on Cheap Heat a lot. The press conference from hell. Uh, I think the way that he played that was just came off really selfish. Specifically, the talking about Colt Cabana rubbed a lot of people, including myself, the wrong way, who are friendly with Colt, and he's just been nothing but a good egg. And you're like, man, what did he do? How did his family end up getting talked about here? Um, so there have certainly been moments that have made you think, eh, not so sure about this guy. But I don't want that to be mixed up in the talent level and the capabilities that CM Punk has as a pro wrestler. Okay. At his best, CM Punk is as exciting and charismatic a superstar as exists in the business, period. I'm not talking about in ring skill. I am talking about when he walks through that curtain, the feeling that he gives you as a fan is electric. He can do things that some people, no matter how good they are, just cannot do. It is just a gift that happens. I mean, it's talent, it's hard work, it's all those things, but some of it is just, damn it, it's a God given gift that that guy has and an energy that he brings. So I'm excited about the fact that A, I was surprised, and B, now we have a myriad of potential surprises and stories to take us up to WrestleMania. That's a great time, makes my job more fun, makes everybody's job more fun. It brings more eyeballs and more money. This is good business. So I need to have all of that up front because I do think we need to be allowed, though, if it's safe in the internet and in the wrestling world, to be critical. Also, he doesn't walk on water. CM Punk isn't Bret Hart, who does walk on water, or Macho Man, also walks on water. You know what I mean? He, and I'm joking. No one's infallible. So just because the internet gets excited, all of a sudden everyone's perfect. All is forgotten. And let's be honest, a lot of it's tribalism. A lot of it's tribalism and people rooting against AEW. Now, I always root for WWE. I am the definition of a company guy. I love WWE, not only as a product, love being a part of it, love everything I do with WWE. It's been one of the joys of my life. But I don't root against anyone. That's not that's not how I look at things, especially in a business that's so limited in terms of the places you can go collect a paycheck. I just love that there are options and places for people to go, to work, make money, perform, do their art, and support their families. But there really is a lot of tribalism in people who just want one thing. So they were anti CM Punk before, now they're pro CM Punk, or they were pro CM Punk before, now they're anti CM Punk, depending on which side of the aisle you fall on. Like everything in this country, it seems. But for me, I'm super stoked about the possibilities that we have here. And now we look back at last night, an electric show from the second it started. Randy Orton in the ring. I'm in. Last night was a night where they really did a great job getting you to stay tuned for 3 hours. And we know 3 hours is a long broadcast. It is the biggest hardship of Monday Night Raw. It's what separates Monday Night Raw from SmackDown and everything else in wrestling is the fact that there's that extra hour. But last night, between the fact that CM Punk was back and Randy Orton was back and the excitement of Survivor Series War Games and the fact that you're up against a dud of a football game in the Vikings and Bears, a lot of things falling to the right place. They announced first hour's commercial free. So it was a great night. The specific promo which ended the show, which it's being reported was cut down a bit because some other segments maybe ran long. That to me is interesting. I'm curious about how fans felt, and please comment below about the CM Punk promo. He was skillful, articulate, charismatic, all the things you expect from CM Punk. But he did not have a real motivation. You know, he said he's back because of you, because of everyone chanting. I mean, Punk, we're not stupid. They were chanting for years, and you went somewhere else. Now, I guess you're saying that's everybody? That's just all the fans? Doesn't matter whether they're AEW fans or WWE fans, right? They're all wrestling fans. But if that's the case, you already told that story somewhere else. What is the new story going to be with CM Punk? And every smart internet sleuth who somehow knows the intricacies of booking, even though they've never done it, is going to come out and say, no, that's the point. He wasn't going to go scorched earth. He's not going to go after Seth Rollins. He's not going to call out Roman Reigns. That's the point. All right, I get it. I didn't expect him to go scorched earth. He certainly wasn't going to do in WWE what he did when he showed up on that episode of Rampage and spent the whole time talking about the product across the street. No chance that was happening in WWE. He was not about to cut a 10-minute commercial hating on another company. No way. I didn't expect that. I didn't want that. I also didn't think he'd dive full-fledged into the Seth Rollins thing, which we're all excited about, because Seth Rollins, we see right now, has a thing with Drew, and we have to pace ourselves. He threw out an allusion to the wise man. Obviously, that gets people excited with the history between CM Punk and Paul Heyman and where Paul Heyman sits right now with Roman Reigns. So you have that as a tantalizing tidbit. But besides all of that, what I got from Punk was mostly what I've been getting from him for the last 3 years. And to me, what's going to differentiate this run, hopefully, is seeing a new motivation from CM Punk. Because the truth is, him being this antagonist, this rebel, this guy who doesn't care, that is a lot harder to pull off when you just signed a deal with the place that you had left, with the people who you had dropped the pipe bomb on, and with all of us knowing you're sitting on millions and millions of dollars in your bank account. You've come down from your ivory tower and into that ring and grabbed the mic, and now you're going to expect us to believe that you're everyone's hero. Don't know if I'm buying it. I need to understand what the motivation here is, besides the fact that everyone chanted your name for so long. Because they chanted your name for a very long time. You know what you did? You showed up to a few episodes of Backstage on FS1. And then you went to AEW. So why are you here now? That's what I want to know. I hope I get to ask him myself. I hope we all get to find out. So the table is set. The opportunity is here. And by the way, WWE already won. Like, I'm sorry to be the company shill here, but the win is already, come on. Saturday everyone was talking about it. You see all the numbers. The level of surprise, it was just a win. The win has already happened. The truth is, they could do a month with CM Punk, decide they're not into it, move on with him before they even get to WrestleMania, and guess what? It would still be a win. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think everyone will put their best foot forward to see what we can get out of this. How many great stories can we get? CM Punk, Seth Rollins. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. CM Punk, Logan Paul. I could see a lot of fun there. CM Punk, Brock Lesnar. As my wife brings me eggs. Thank you very much, honey. I'm going to come out there and eat with you. There are all these things on the table. How many will we get to? I don't know. I think that really remains to be seen based on how this whole thing goes and how Punk carries himself, et cetera, et cetera. Because we can't ignore what has happened. It has happened. Do I think it will happen in WWE? No, I don't. I think that's the primary difference between AEW and WWE. Beyond the creative part, the biggest difference is the way the locker room operates. I just don't see that being possible at WWE. But it remains to be seen, where will this story go? But if I'm ranking great CM Punk promos last night, it's not near the top. It was a lot of fun to see him. He looked physically in good shape. I don't know what was going on with his hair. We got to talk about that because his hair was much better on Saturday night. That's neither here nor there. Who am I to talk? I know. Going to get a cut right now. But he looked good. But yeah, as far as being up there, if the tippy top of what he's done is the pipe bomb, last night was not an attempt at doing anything like that at all. It was a, hey, I'm here. I'm happy to be here. I love you, blah, blah, blah. The most interesting that probably happened, though, was that he cuts this super white meat babyface kind of promo about the fans. And then at the end says, once the mic's off, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money, which of course is not such a babyface-ish thing to say. And was that the real tip off as to where things are going to go with CM Punk? I'm here for it all. I'm down to dissect it all. We do it every single week on the Cheap Heat podcast, Ringer Wrestling Show. You can find it there. And yeah, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're working on graphics. We're getting everything in place here on the Rosenberg Wrestling YouTube channel, but I appreciate you.